Cliche Your Way Through Life. Remix. Knowledge is power. Value, wisdom. The one who gets wisdom loves life. The one who cherishes understanding will soon prosper. Proverbs 19:8. Information is everywhere. We're constantly consuming, scrolling, listening, watching, learning. But wisdom? Wisdom is knowing how to use it. This chapter is about moving beyond just knowing better. It's about living better. It's the shift from passive learning to active living. It's when your choices, actions, and intentions begin to reflect the truth you've gathered along the way. Because knowledge will give you options, but wisdom will show you the way. The lesson that changed everything. For me, it all started with the burger. I had just eaten one from Del Taco, and within hours, I was so sick that I missed one of my favorite singers performing right downstairs. That moment hit me hard. It wasn't just about the food. It was about what I had been feeding my body, and more importantly, what I had been ignoring. I realized that my choices weren't just affecting my body in the moment. They were shaping my energy, my health, and even the memories I was missing out on. I was in Vegas celebrating my cousin's birthday, surrounded by family laughter and nonstop indulgence. And as much as I love food, especially being from Arkansas, where food is how we show love, I felt off. I had already been working on changing the way I ate, learning how certain foods impact my body and mind. But here I was, slipping right back into habits I knew didn't serve me. Still, I stayed quiet. I didn't want to seem extra or bougie. I didn't want people to think I was starving myself or trying to be better than anyone. So instead of honoring my body, I ignored it. I ate when I wasn't hungry. I let the pressure of the moment outweigh what I knew deep down to be true. That wasn't just a health decision. It was a love decision. Because loving yourself sometimes means choosing what's right over what's easy. It means honoring what your body, your spirit, and your truth are saying, even if no one else gets it. That's what unconditional love looks like in practice. Not love based on how good you're doing, but love that shows up in your choices even when it's hard. That's when it really clicked. I went to hear 19 Keys speak, and he asked one simple question. What changes have you thought about but haven't acted on? That shook me to the core. I had so much knowledge. I had researched how certain foods made me feel, read about herbs, watched videos on fruit-only eating. I had thought about cutting meat for a long time, but thinking about it wasn't the same as acting on it. That was the missing piece, wisdom. Because wisdom isn't just knowing better. Wisdom is doing better. That moment changed me. I made the choice of cutting out meat, not as a temporary detox or a trend, but as an act of alignment. I stopped putting things in my body that left me feeling sluggish, drained, or disconnected from myself. From that one decision, everything began to shift. I felt lighter, clearer, more in tune with my mind, body, and spirit than I had in a long time. And what I learned was this. It's not enough to know what needs to change. You have to honor yourself enough to act on it. That's wisdom. Wisdom is when you take what you've learned and you let it guide your choices, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's not popular, even when it means saying no to what you've always said yes to. Knowing better, doing better. We've all been there, saying, I knew better, right after making a choice we regret. Whether it's responding to a text we shouldn't have, eating something we knew would make us feel bad, or staying silent when we should have spoken up. Knowing isn't enough. That's what this cliche teaches us. Knowledge is power. But here's the truth. Power doesn't come from what you know. It comes from what you do with what you know. You can read every self-help book, take every course, and quote every expert. But if your choices don't shift, your life won't either. The real value here is personal wisdom in action. What's the most powerful knowledge? The most powerful knowledge you will ever have is knowing you. The most important thing I've learned isn't just how to gather information, but how to listen to myself, my body, my spirit, and the quiet wisdom that lives inside of me. And even more than listening, I had to learn how to honor it, not just hearing the truth, but living it. Because knowing who you are is one thing, but loving yourself enough to live like it, that's where everything changes. It's not about following trends. It's not about what works for everybody else. It's about staying true to your truth, even when it's inconvenient, even when it's uncomfortable. That's where transformation begins, because the truth really will set you free. The most powerful truth you will ever know is you. How to use knowledge to cultivate growth. 1. Be selective about what you take in. Not all information is useful. Filter out the noise and focus on what truly serves you. 2. Trust what you know to be true for you. Let your intuition guide you. If it resonates deeply, it's worth honoring. 3. Turn learning into action. Insight without action is wasted energy. Let your choices reflect your growth. 4. Reevaluate as you grow. You're not meant to stay the same. Let your values evolve as you do. Conclusion. The power of knowledge in action. True growth doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you choose to act on what you know is right for you. Knowledge is the seed, but action is what brings the harvest. That burger wasn't just food. It was a wake-up call. It reminded me that I can't afford to keep living beneath what I know. If I want to feel better, live better, be better, I had to make the choices that reflect that truth. Because knowledge sits still, but wisdom moves. A little R&R, remix and reflects. Value, wisdom. Before you move on, take a moment to center yourself and reflect on what this chapter revealed. Remix the truth. Knowledge opens the door, but wisdom decides if you walk through it. Growth doesn't come from what you know, it comes from what you practice. Reflect on this. 1. What's something you know you need to do for yourself but haven't acted on yet? 2. When have you let fear, pressure, or outside opinions silence your truth? 3. What's one small way you can live more in alignment with what you already know? Truth to take with you. You don't need more advice. You need to start trusting what you already know and living like it matters. Try this. Pick one truth you've been sitting on. Act on it this week. Even if it's small, even if it's scary, let your knowledge move. And just like that, even when you've got the wisdom, life will still hand you lemons. But when your mindset is rooted in values and your actions match your knowledge, you're more than ready for what comes next.